How much are you willing to give up in the search for satisfying outcomes? Last video I implored to explore until you find satisfying methods. To be honest, I think most of us search for them subconsciously anyways. But I want to bring attention to the challenges that each of us struggle with the most. It varies from person to person. Why is it that we struggle with them so much? I'm not talking about the challenges where we see constant growth or improvements, but rather the ones that we are stagnant on. We invest time and effort trying to achieve that challenge or difficulty, but we always seem to fall short of achieving it, no matter how much we try. Like a very hard puzzle, we try ideas that come up in our head, and when those don't work, we try again harder, but to no avail. Some challenges feel like they're impossible, and so we are left in doubt. Yet, if we truly have explored all of our options on how to tackle the problem, we have two choices. We either expand and change our baseline of assumptions, the frame of the problem, and try again, or simply accept the current problem as its best solution. Sometimes the problem is the best solution, but sometimes the solution is out there, but at the cost of something we likely value. And that is the risk we take in the pursuit of not settling for anything less than satisfactory outcomes. For example, let's say for a moment that we cannot afford food and water, and everything is too expensive. Yet, we only have so many days before we die of starvation. If we approach it the way society tells us to, we should earn some money and then go buy it at our local convenience store or grocery store. After all, it is nice for food to be on the shelf without us having to go through the trouble of raising it, growing it, harvesting it, hunting it, or even the moral doubts if we steal, right? Therefore, many would choose to remain in the hopes of maybe landing a job soon enough, or for the government to fund them, or maybe for their own ventures to generate profit so that they can get the money and go buy their food. But what if we can't get a job soon enough, right? What if our business ventures take too long to generate revenue, especially in this job market? What if we apply for government aid and they don't provide? We could choose to hunt or raise the food ourselves, but that would take skill, time, and effort that we otherwise might not have at the time, or maybe ever. Right? We could steal and run the risk of being incriminated and put into jail if the stolen amount is severe enough, right? Yet, doing so would break the boundary of morality and comfort that has value. Yet, in this survival scenario, our morality and comfort is what is keeping us from meeting those basic survival necessities. Do we risk our lives in the hopes that by keeping what we deem as moral or good, we will surely get rewarded? Or if we die, that we get rewarded with paradise? Do we choose to hunt our food, raise our own crops, or go into the fields of the unknown, where we risk our own life by exposing ourselves to nature? Perhaps a better approach might be a mix of everything, right? A mix of both of those things, to a certain extent, as if there was a balance. But that still requires breaking a barrier, no? The choice will be left to each individual and what each individual truly values. And this points towards my second point in this series, which is that after committing yourself towards exploring until you find satisfactory outcomes, that you then identify which boundaries you are willing to break in whatever scenario you may encounter, and which ones you are not willing to break. For example, I know I wouldn't want to break the boundary of fair and legal play in a sport, because I find that cheating in a sport to be useless to me. If I'm going to compete and actively invest in a sport, I want to feel that I earned my spot, right? That's kind of part of the reason why I play a sport. It's because there has to be some pride in it, and that can only be earned. So I find no value in cheating. But for a sports person that only relies in the sport for their income and survival, cheating might be a boundary they're willing to break, or the rules of legal and fair play, because their survival is in the line, right? When it comes to my survival, I know that I would break some boundaries imposed by religion and society. I've found that within myself. And so I implore you to find boundaries again, and that you assess which ones you are willing to break and the ones you are not, in the name of satisfying outcomes. This is part 2 of the Pursuit of Truth series.